In 2018, all schools in Parramatta Diocese will continue to engage in the process of peer review in order to present curriculum documentation to their peers in a professional learning context. And the process of peer review must adhere and align to the compliance areas such as specified in the NESA RANGS Manual, the NESA ACE Manual, CDP requirements including religious education, and Focus 160, literacy and numeracy. There will be a number of aspects to the process which will remain unchanged, and I wish to look at these before explaining what's changed for 2018. So what's the same? Schools will still be given 1 month notification of the peer review date, and they will be required to present curriculum materials as advised in the 7-day notifications. The review areas remain the same for teachers, and they will be required to present curriculum materials either in hard copy or on USBs or Google Docs in the area of scope and sequence, assessment plans, teaching programs, registers and evaluations, student records of achievement, work samples, resources and equipment. The peer review reports will still be generated from the table discussions and the Google Docs. In order to prepare for peer review, schools will have access to curriculum documents required for preparation and presentation on the day, and these are listed on the OSCR page under the Important Documents section. There's the Primary Compliance Guide, the Secondary Compliance Guide, the Curriculum Declaration Form, and the Principals Checklist. And these will be examined in the next video on what's changed. The other areas that remain the same for peer review include the documents required by the school leadership teams. Principals will present the following materials for discussion on the principals table using the checklist on the OSCR page. They will continue to look at timetable requirements, the timetables for each year and class showing the allocation of time and teachers for each KLA. Primary timetables will be accessed via PTA. Secondary schools may wish to use FACES, and if they're not using FACES, then their timetable will need to be uploaded where possible or provide access where feasible prior to peer review. If it's not feasible for secondary schools to provide those timetables electronically, they will be reviewed as paper documents on the day. Principal discussions will also continue to focus on attendance, Focus 160, complaints and grievances. There will also be focus on teacher accreditation processes, looking at what schools do with not yet accredited teachers and those on maintenance. And finally, principals will be looking at safe and supportive areas such as working with children checks, mandatory reporting and reportable conduct. The process of preparing informal and formal reports has not changed since 2017. Lastly, 4 spot checks on schools will occur in 2018. There are 2 primary and 2 secondary schools that have been randomly chosen, and their names have been given to NESA, so they're removed from the possibility of a NESA random inspection, remembering that NESA can inspect any school with 4 days' notice. In the spot checks, non-curriculum areas may well focus on safe and supportive environments, including child protection, such as the supervision of students and risk management for on-site and off-site activities. It may also look at the analysis of student achievement in external testing, reporting and recording student achievement, and engagement in learning. It may also look at the teacher accreditation processes for the not yet accredited and the teachers on maintenance. We have also created a section on the OSCR page outlining what needs to be done before peer review, what needs to be presented on the day, what happens after peer review, and spot checks. Please make sure that you are familiar with these areas, and in the next video we will explore those areas of peer review that have changed for 2018.